What is going on, chat, man? We are back, and today we are reacting to Michael Jordan's finals record, the side they don't want you to hear. Chat, this was highly anticipated and highly recommended, man. And hey, bro, you know it's a good video when it's a Michael Jordan video, man. You've been highly anticipated and recommending this video, man. So it's only right we get straight into this video, bro. A lot of people be capping, bro, about Jordan's finals record, what got going on with that finals, bro. And I'm trying to learn, bro. So, hey, with that being said, let's get straight into the video. If y'all new to the channel, enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button, man. Join the crew. But hey, let's get straight to it, man. Yes,
Three
sir.
or four titles are the same as 6. This is starting to get hilarious. The way the La Media is moving the goalpost, lowering the bar to propel the players of today's era is actually impressive. In another universe, they would be the greatest defense lawyers. Luckily for us, we have the truth on our side, and there are so many things they're refusing to acknowledge because they know it would completely destroy their argument. In essence, they are minimizing Jordan's titles. The argument they are making is that the way someone wins a championship is the biggest factor. Your performance in the competition you face increases the value of your title. Through this complex formula and algorithm they created, you can actually make the case that someone's 3 or 4 titles equal Jordan's 6. Therefore, we can finally dethrone Michael Jordan as the GOAT. That's cute and all, but why don't they discuss the other side? If you actually care about performance, then we can play the exact same game. Are we seriously gonna act like he is literally the greatest playoff and finals performer in history?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Playoffs is when it matters too, bro.
Another player who had one of the top 10 greatest playoff runs in back-to-back-to-back years. Oh, that's right, you can only name one player. In the 1991 playoffs, Jordan averaged 31.1 points on 52% shooting, 8.4 assists, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.4 steals per game. Did you know this is only the second time that a championship winning player averaged over 30 points and 8 assists per game in the playoffs? Only Nikola Jokic in 2023 averaged those numbers during his title run. You know, the player who supposedly could be the GOAT if he wins one more title. Too bad the player he's trying to dethrone was more impressive and more dominant when he won.
You can't just overthrow someone, bro. You can't, bro. Like there's a lot of accolades you gotta achieve to overcome that dude in Chicago, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
First title. What puts this playoff run to another level is what he did in the finals. Against Magic Johnson and the Lakers, he averaged a stat line never before seen on the biggest stage. He averaged 31.2 points on 56% shooting, 11.4 assists, 6.6 rebounds, and 2.8 steals per game. No one has averaged over 31 points and 11 assists in the finals. When you combine that with his team only losing 2 games, we can absolutely say this is arguably the greatest playoff run by a player. In the 1992 playoffs, he averaged 34.5 points on 50% shooting.
Bro, see, like 34.5 points. Like, bro, that's not even a joke how he averages that in the playoffs. Like, that's not even a joke, bro. I'm not even trolling. That's crazy.
5.8 assists and 2 steals per game. That's the second highest points per game average by any player who's won the title. And for those who foolishly believe that he was only a great scorer, wait till you hear this next stat. No other player has averaged over 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals for a playoff run while winning the title. No one is that dominant of a scorer while also being efficient and impacting the game in every single facet. Not even in today's cupcake of a league can someone duplicate what Jordan has done. Not even once. But here's the crazy part. He did it 3 straight times. That is the greater point. Throughout history, we've seen many great players have historically great playoff run that resulted in a title. From Rick Barry in 1975 to Jalen Brunson in 2026. But what separates the great from the pantheon level players is their ability to do it again and again. You have to possess a certain type of hunger. You have to have a certain level of talent to continue dominating when everyone is trying to bring you down. Not everyone has that capability. That's why the club of players actually in the GOAT conversation is so limited. It's not right to lower a standard that's been set for decades just because your favorite player isn't good enough. But let's not forget what he did in the 1992 finals. He averaged 35.8 points, 6.5 assists, 4.8 rebounds.
Like, bro, 35 points. He was literally torching them the whole entire series, bro. If he wanted to, he could have averaged 40, bro. It was just an extra 5 points.
And 1.7 steals per game. Now let's take a look at his shooting numbers. He averaged 53% from the field, 43% from the 3, and 89% from the free throw. Who else has posted at least a 50-40-89 shooting split in the finals while averaging over 30 points per game? Just one player. That's Kevin Durant in the 2017 and 2018 finals. In the 1993 playoffs, he averaged 35.1 points on 48% shooting, 6.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game. That's the highest scoring average by any player that won the title. And of course,
see,
for adding
like,
the 6
bro, come
plus
on.
rebounds, the 6 plus
He
assists,
averaged that much and he won.
and 2 steals per game that no one else has recorded while averaging at least 30 points per game. In the finals, he averaged 41 points on 51% shooting, 8.5 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.7 steals per game. Again, that is the highest scoring average in finals history. He is the only player since the NBA/ABA merger to average over 40 points per game in the finals. After hearing all those record-breaking numbers, it's only right that we also add imaginary titles for Jordan. Those 3 titles really equal to 6 when you consider the context, am I right? If the performance is all they really care about, then why aren't they giving the greatest playoff performer the same courtesy? Apparently, they don't respect Jordan's competition. The players and teams that he faced in the 90s are apparently so much weaker than today's era. Pay no mind that he had
I don't know, bro. I feel like Jordan's era was stronger, bro. Like you got, like, for example, Charles Barkley. How tall is he? Like 6'4", chat, and he plays like he's like 6'11", a big man and all that, bro. Come on, that's different.
faced these top 75 players during the 90s in the playoffs. Magic Johnson, who finished second in MVP voting in 1991. Shaq twice, Isaiah Thomas twice, Charles Barkley 3 times, Karl Malone twice, Patrick Ewing 5 times, Clyde Drexler, John Stockton twice, Dominique Wilkins, who finished 5th in MVP voting in 1993, James Worthy, Dennis Rodman twice, Gary Payton, and Reggie Miller.
Dennis Rodman for MVP? What?
That's not to mention Hall of Fame players, Joe Dumars twice, Alonzo Mourning 3 times, Tim Hardaway twice, Chris Webber, and Dikembe Mutombo. Keep in mind that we're not including players like Penny Hardaway, Shawn Kemp, Kevin Johnson, Terry Porter, etc. I don't know about you.
Okay, maybe I took it the wrong way then. Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this guy had to play so much. Did he have to run into these people this much times? I was thinking that he ran into, you know what I'm saying, these players a couple of times. Not too much. But he's playing damn near the best players every single time.
But those players seem pretty legendary to me. Then we have the strength of his opponents. Throughout his career, he faced 9 teams that won over 60 games in the playoffs.
Strong, bro.
Out of all the top 75 players, that is the second most ever. Only his teammate Scottie Pippen faced more 60-win teams. Let me say this again. On
and
paper,
it's because he retired, bro. He retired. That's why, bro.
No one faced tougher competition than Michael Jordan. In 5 of the 6 final series that he played, he faced the best team in the Western Conference. In 5 of the 6 title runs, he either faced a team with the best record or the second best record in the league. Now let's compare that to this decade. There have been 2 instances where the 5th seed reached the finals, and 1 instance where the 7th seed reached the finals. Imagine what everyone would say if the 1992 Bulls faced Danny Manning and the 7th seed Los Angeles Clippers in the finals. How pathetic would that be? But somehow...
Okay, yeah, okay, he kind of is spitting right there. But it's not kind of the same, though. Is it, chat? Let me know.
People are trying to convince us that facing an inferior team in the biggest stage is more impressive. So let me get this straight. He faced multiple all-time great players, and they were usually playing for championship contending teams. I'm sorry, but isn't that how we usually judge how strong a team is? How great is your team's best player? Is he an all-time great? If they had a 60-win season, that means they have a great supporting cast and are strong enough to win a title. That's what Jordan faced year in and year out, yet people still want to dismiss his competition. There was a clear bias people have regarding the NBA in the 90s. They somehow respect every other era except the one where one player and one team dominated. If you're actually the greatest player of all time, aren't you supposed to have that kind of dominance over your opponents?
Yeah,
if you
you
have
are.
the pieces around you to compete
You
for
are.
a title, shouldn't your team always win? Common sense, right? Of course,
Yeah, that is.
that's
I ain't
easier
gonna lie.
said than done. There were times where Jordan needed to face players that historically had success over him. Take, for example, Charles Barkley. Did you know that he has an overall record of 19-20 against Charles in the regular season? That's right, MJ had a losing record. The Bulls' biggest weakness was their front line. He would score easily against Horace Grant or Bill Cartwright. He would also dominate the boards. If that's the case, why couldn't he ever beat Jordan in the playoffs? Because Michael would raise his
Bro, the
play.
playoffs is when it matters, bro. If you're losing, like you got to take the. I feel like NBA players take the regular season as like a test to see how the team moves, how the team goes about certain things, what the team runs as plays. But when it gets to playoffs, bro, you watched that film already. You know what I'm saying? You're already ready for what's gonna happen, and bro, you studied game, bro. So it's way easier to drop them off now. You just have to play them.
To a level we've never seen. In the 1990 playoffs, only 2 wins separated these two teams. For that series, Jordan averaged a historic stat line. We're talking 43 points on 55% shooting, 7.4 assists, 6.6 rebounds, 4 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game. Do I have to say that no one's ever produced that stat line for a playoff series? That's the reason they were able to beat a strong team in 5 games. In the 1993 finals, Charles had the deeper team. They were stronger offensively. They could overwhelm them with their depth. Michael knew this, and that is why he had
Did he just cock it back and put back that dunk?
the greatest final series in league history. It was out of necessity. That was required from him if they're going to beat that team, and he delivered. The same can be said about Karl Malone. Did you know that he went 11-13 overall against the Mailman in the regular season? The Bulls had a hard time beating teams that had players like Malone who could dominate the paint. In the 1997 finals, the Jazz were just as good, winning 64
So what
games.
was the series then? Like did like Jordan sweep Charles Barkley? Like how did that go, Chat? Can you guys let me know down below?
In the 1998 finals, they had home court advantage for the series. This was a fair matchup, and it wasn't far-fetched to expect the Jazz to win one of those series. But why couldn't they come through? Yes, Jordan was dominant, but not in the same manner as in his first three-peat run. This time, it was all about his clutch abilities. What I'm about to say is not gaslighting or glazing, it's facts. Michael Jordan had the most clutch final series in 1997. He had his hands
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I can agree. Is that when he had the flu game, or is that when he did the step back? Now the step back is when he retired, so that has to be 98. So 97 is when he had the flu game, right?
3 game winners. He made the buzzer beater in game 1. 29 years later, and no one has still been able to make a buzzer beating shot in the finals. He made the go-ahead 3-pointer in the infamous flu game.
So Jordan's the only guy to freaking shoot a buzzer beater and make it in the finals? That's
5 seconds
fire.
left. Then he made the assist to Steve Kerr that won the title in game 6. Those are 3 victories that could have gone either way. If he wasn't this great of a closer, the Bulls could have easily lost that series. In the 1998 finals, did we all of a sudden forget that Scottie Pippen was extremely limited in game 6, that he was a complete non-factor on the offensive end? The Jazz were in a great position to force a game 7 and to possibly win the title. But Michael Jordan gave us the most impressive 3 possessions of basketball. He carried his team on both ends of the floor and converted on arguably the biggest shot in league history. This notion that Michael was 6-0 in the finals because of his weak competition is either lazy or just plain ignorant. If it wasn't for his monster performances and incredibly clutch abilities, he would have failed like everyone else has. But when you're the GOAT, you're supposed to set impossible standards. No one has been able to reach its sense for one simple reason.
Facts.
No one's good enough. In the future,
And it was all glazing at the top 75, bro. Which was crazy, bro. That's how you know he has aura, bro.
maybe someone can live up to his standards. When that moment comes, we won't need to set a handicap for that player. It will be obvious. Until then, the GOAT title remains his. But what about you all? Do you believe that someone can surpass him with 2 or 3 titles? What would someone have to do to take his GOAT title? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Chat, man. Let me know what you guys think about this, man. Because, hey, this was absolutely crazy, bro. You know, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And recommend me some more bangers, bro. Because, hey, this was an absolute banger. But, hey, that being said, man, I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.